Okay, lab science. Let's look at, we're going to be looking at some more case studies since I'm not there today. So you're going to click on this in Google Classroom. And you're going to read through this. And I want to go through it with you guys because I feel like it can be a little tricky. The first part is this. We're going to click on this website here on Nova. And it says, click on the chronology of a murder section and read about the events that led up to the murder trial of Dr. Sam Shepard. Now, this went on for quite some time, so there's quite a bit of reading. So we're going to go to chronology of a murder, and this is where it starts. It starts here talking about, kind of what's leading up to happening, and then it starts from the day of right here, and you're going to read through all this. And then when you get to the bottom, you'll click there. It continues onto the new dates. And you'll click here to continue on. And you'll continue. And like I said, it went on for several times. But there's not a ton of reading. It's like little sentences here and there. And then that is where it ends. Now, I do think there has been some updates in this case since this website has been made, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So anyways, you're going to read through that, and you're going to answer this question. In your opinion, what role, if any, did newspaper stories and editorials have in the outcome of the original trial of Dr. Sam Shepard? Because I do feel like, especially in today's time, media plays such a big role in everything. So did it affect the outcome back then? So then when you're done with that, you're going to go back to the killer's trail homepage and select create a DNA fingerprint. So I'm going to go down here to create a DNA fingerprint right here in the red. And I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to go back here. And it says, read about the crime and suspects, then go to part 2. Answer the following questions about the technique as you go through the simulation to create a DNA fingerprint. So I'm going to read through this. That's what that means. Read through this. Read through the suspects. And then I'm going to do here, and I'm going to go through steps. So the first step says add restriction enzyme to DNA sample. So here's my restriction enzymes. And I'm going to add that to the DNA. And then it will tell me what I just did and what that restriction enzyme did right there. Then I'm going to go on to step 2 and do that. And so this is where then I start to answer this. What's the function of the restriction enzyme? Well, it told me after I poured it into the DNA, it popped up and told me what the function was. Right? So we're going to go through that lab, answering those questions. And then we're going to go here to part 2. It says use your browser to go to Frontlines What Jennifer Saw. So you can click here on that website. And then this one is a little tricky too because it says answer the following questions. What evidence was initially used to convict Cotton? So we're reading about Cotton here, but if you try to click right here, like nothing will happen, at least not on my computer. So I have to go down here to where it says Cotton. I can barely read that. Cotton's wrongful conviction, and I'm going to click there. Right? So if I go back here, read the interviews with DNA expert Peter Newfield and lawyer Barry Schneck. So let's see here. Maybe here in interviews. Yeah, there it is. So this, once again, is a little bit back in the 90s. Okay, so I can always go back to interviews here. Remember, on this worksheet, it said with Peter Newfield and lawyer Barry Scheck. So I could go back here, find Barry Scheck, and I can read through Barry Scheck, the question and answer here. Right? Once again, it's just talking a lot about how DNA is used as evidence and helps with these cases of wrongful convictions or like correct convictions. Alright, so that's how you go through this. So you're just going to answer the following, read through there, what evidence was used, what did the DNA evidence show, how could DNA fingerprinting be used to prevent a false conviction, what percentage of convicts are usually convicted of sexual assault cases, and then the O.J. Simpson trial, we'll talk about that. Alright, so anyways, work on that. Whatever you don't get done, I should be there Wednesday. I should be back on Wednesday. And we'll see where you guys are at. You should definitely be complete and finished with Monday's work. This, I don't know how long this will take because it is a lot of reading. It could take maybe 1.5 class periods. So anyways, when I get back, I'm going to be expecting to see that you have some work ready for me. Alright, you guys have a great day, and I will talk with you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.